I can't believe we reached this point this fast, but the end of the year is already here, and I feel like December 2022 was literally yesterday. Anyway, just because we are in the last month of the year doesn't mean that the fun is over or that the gaming library has nothing more to offer this year, as you might believe, but I'm happy to tell you that's not the case. For some people, this is even the perfect time for horror games, because the weather works perfectly with the atmosphere to make the experience insanely immersive. The sound of the rain outside while you're playing a horror game in the confines of your home gives a weird feeling that you are in the game itself. Some rumors even say that many people went missing in a mysterious way when they were playing horror games at night during the rain. Some studies also suggest that serial killers become more active in the rainy season, and their main target is usually innocent gamers like you and me. Okay, I believe I need to cut the crap, because I'm obviously starting to make no sense, but my main reason for this weird intro is to immerse you and get you in the mood for horror before I tell you about some spooky games that you need to play. Because some of the games that you're going to see in this video are actually cursed and evil in a way that you might not even survive to reach the end. Anyway, without further ado, get your cup of coffee ready and let's start. People who are familiar with Asian horror games are definitely familiar with Chilla's art, because this series simply keeps on giving and giving. The Kidnap is the latest installment so far, and from the name, you probably already get that it's a disturbing and eerie experience. In the game, you play as Renya, an elementary school boy living with his sister, Sakiko. Their mother left several months ago, leaving both children to fend for themselves. It's obvious that the mom was crazy and cruel, because there's no way a normal mom would do this. Anyway, one rainy night, Renya finds out that his beloved sister has mysteriously disappeared as well, and this is when the nightmare begins. The game is set in a hauntingly atmospheric environment and aims to terrify you with the atmosphere more than anything else. And just like other installments in the series, it features an immersive VHS film aesthetic that emulates the look and feel of CRT screens. It's obvious that the sister here was abducted by a scary person, and your job is to solve this mystery and find out exactly what happened. Things also got way more chilling when Renya started hearing rumors about a clown breaking into houses and that he might be a serial killer. Anyway, let's not talk about any spoilers here, and I'm going to let you find out by yourselves who the clown is and what happened to Sakiko. This game is short, and when I say short, I mean very, very short. However, if you're someone who suffers from claustrophobia, then it's probably a nightmare for you. Here, you wake up in complete darkness, trapped in a coffin, before realizing that you have literally been buried alive. With limited oxygen and no way to escape, you must find a way out before it's too late, because if you don't, then you'll die for real, as something ugly is coming for you. After understanding your situation, you can grab your phone, but the bad news is that its battery is dying. However, you need to use it to turn on the light and see around you. I don't know why someone is buried with his phone, but anyway, let's pretend that dead people need their phones. The fact that the oxygen is also running out makes the situation more stressful than it already is. I don't know about you guys, but this is definitely one of the experiences that I don't want to go through in real life. But if you think you can do it in the virtual world, then you should check this game out. It's very short, but at least it only costs $2.
It's opening! It's opening!
You failed, Harry. You've ruined everything. We were so close to this. We were about to break the goddamn principle. Well, now you'll finally face the consequences.
Harry, you must fix everything you've done. I still need you alive so we can end the project.
Thank God. Harry, you're alive. We can escape this disaster together.
If you want a good horror game that focuses more on smart storylines than jump scares, then this is probably what you're looking for in December. The Mueller-Powell principle is set in the near future, and it's basically a sci-fi narrative that unfolds with Harry Herman, a Delta Laboratories employee engaged in interdimensional travel research. Initially, the project was intended for the greater good of humanity, but things took an unexpected turn. As is usual in every sci-fi horror game, the story here is non-linear, and your decisions always matter, regardless of how simple they are. The good news is that after you find yourself in the mysterious alternate world, a couple of your friends will attempt to reach out to you, and with their assistance, you embark on a journey through diverse dimensions. You will tackle physics-based puzzles using an energy-manipulating weapon, and also traverse through space and time, which will confuse you sometimes. The game offers multiple endings, and this is mainly because the choices of the players will lead to different outcomes that they need to deal with. So if you're looking for a different experience that makes use of your brain and thinking skills, then this is a game for your wish list, and you can play it today.
Whoops. Stop panicking, Eugene. It's not your life at stake here, Dr. That thing only attacks 30% of the time, though. Harry's got a good chance of making it to the bridge.
Right, except on the way, Harry will have to jump over the abyss again and try not to get eaten by the centipede. Harry, do you think...
Warning. Warning. Attention personnel. Start evacuation protocols immediately. Warning. Warning. Warning.
Defaced is a game that was revealed earlier this year, and I was actually one of the people who was impressed by the first trailer that they released. However, the game has been redesigned, and the developers decided to make some changes, and it's now called Defaced Dark Abyss. Either way, the game looks terrifying and is an experience that deserves to be highlighted. The protagonist here is called Ethan Kane, and he is renowned as the most brave explorer of forsaken locations. However, this time he decided to push the limits even further as he descended into the eerie remnants of an abandoned mineshaft. He decided to go alone to prove that he is a badass tough guy, but he quickly realizes he's an idiot who got himself into big trouble that he can't get out of easily. And what's even worse is that the place will turn out to be full of dark secrets that were meant to be hidden forever. The place also contains stuff like medications that you need to find and collect in order to survive. The environment is very interactive, and you need to focus on everything you see until you find the way out and leave. If you fail to do so, then you'll probably face the same fate as the ones who came before you, because you're not alone, as it might seem. Anyway, the game is planned to be released next year, and we will definitely talk about it again, but you really need to get your hands on the free demo right now to get a taste of what it has to offer.
Warning. Critical error. Emergency opening initiated. Please stay back.
Barely a soul left to speak of it. Hanwell was destroyed. The rest of London soon after. Only a fool would dare to return. But you just can't help yourself, can you? Hanwell was just the beginning.
This is another enigmatic yet captivating game that I'm pretty sure many of you didn't hear of, even though people who played it were very impressed by it. It takes place in the abandoned Royal Hallamshire Hospital, located far beyond the borough of Hanwell. Here, you find yourself stuck in the hospital, and you have to explore its dark and decaying corridors to find a way out. The visuals are insanely beautiful, and they make the abandoned hospital look more real than ever, which makes investigating it a scary mission in itself. However, the experience is not just about walking around and looking for clues. It also includes a dual control melee combat system that you will need if something appears at any moment. Something terrifying happened in this hospital, and you need to figure it out if you want to have a chance of leaving alive. The full game is planned to be released soon in the future, but the good news is that there is a relatively long teaser that you can play right now for free. I really advise you to get your hands on it because the teaser has received much praise so far, and I think it's gonna be something big when the full product releases.
Detective Maurice Tremblay. Let's see. 21 years old, working at the Clarendon for over a year. Husband?
I'm sorry?
Are you married?
No, not yet. I live with my mother. She's sick, so I have to take care of her.
No father?
No. It's always just been me and my mom.
All right, Miss Roy. I need you to tell me everything that happened, starting with this morning.
I tried hard to make this list as diverse as possible, by including unique games that provide different experiences and different styles. And this bed we made is an example of that. It's a third-person narrative mystery game set in the 1950s and follows the story of a woman named Beatrice, a chambermaid working at a seemingly ordinary hotel. However, as she cleans the rooms of her guests, she stumbles upon hidden clues that hint at their dark secrets and troubled pasts. This eventually triggers her curiosity, and she begins to investigate their lives, uncovering a web of deceit, betrayal, and even murder. I believe this should be enough to make you understand how interesting this game is. It's basically a mystery movie that you can live in and control, because you'll actually be curious about the story of each guest and their dark past. The experience is generally slow-paced, atmospheric, and focuses on exploration and puzzle solving. and you must carefully examine each hotel room, searching for hidden items, reading personal notes, and piecing together the fragments of the guests' stories and lives. I know that Beatrice seems like a person who's sticking their nose in other people's business, but the game is actually fun, especially if you're one of those people who enjoy exploration and investigation. This is why Steam users gave it very good ratings.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Miss Roy, Mr. Spade is not like you and me. He may look like us, but he's not. He's dangerous and needs to be taken off the streets. So tell me, did you ever see him be violent or aggressive?
You're wrong.
I beg your pardon?
He is like us.
Asian horror games are known for being messed up and creepy by default. They don't even need to show you any monsters or ghosts to freak you out. The silence itself is a source of horror, because you don't know what type of folklore is hidden behind it. Anyway, The Exit 8 is a psychological Japanese horror game that was released last week, and it basically caught everyone's attention very fast. In this bizarre game, you find yourself stuck in an endless underground passageway, and the only way to escape is to find Exit 8. However, the passageway is constantly changing, and there are strange anomalies that can appear at any time from anywhere. If you notice an anomaly, you must turn around immediately, because if you don't, you will be stuck in the passageway forever. Your only hope in this psychological prison is Exit 8, but the problem is that finding it is not as easy as you might believe. The use of Unreal Engine 5 also contributed to making the environment look genuine and realistic, but it also made the anomalies look even scarier and more disturbing. So if you're confident that you have what it takes mentally to find Exit 8, then you should get your hands on this game as soon as you can. I saw this game a few weeks ago, and I really didn't think that it'd be impressive at first, but the reality is that it's actually terrifying. The setting here is a modest and deserted house, and the events unfold as our protagonist seeks refuge from a fierce storm raging outside. However, unaware of the mistake, he has unwittingly entered the most incorrect house he can get to, because staying in this abode is way worse than facing a storm. You need to roam the house and investigate its chilling chambers. But as you do so, you'll feel that you are not alone and being watched by someone. And by someone, I mean an unknown entity that's probably trying to kill the heck out of you. Even though the entity here can't harm you physically, it can still harm you mentally and also harm your heart with jump scares that will remove your soul at times. If you find this interesting, then keep in mind that this game costs $5 and you can try it today.
downstairs to the basement and lock the door. Don't open the door to anyone.
This is really an enticing game, guys, and I'm having high expectations, so hopefully I won't be disappointed. Pine Harbor is set in a small, isolated town on the shores of the North Atlantic Ocean, shrouded in thick fog and mysterious secrets. You take on the role of a survivor who must explore the town, help its residents, and uncover the truth behind the technological disaster that has plunged Pine Harbor into complete darkness. The peaceful town of Pine Harbor was once a thriving fishing community, but some sort of disaster has transformed it into a haunted wasteland. The once familiar streets are now shrouded in darkness, and strange creatures roam the shadows. You must navigate the perilous landscape to discover the fate of its missing inhabitants. But you will not do so easily, because there are entities that see you from far away, and you need to stay focused every second. Resource management is very important here, because every bullet matters, especially since reloading can be very slow. Anyway, the game looks fantastic, and it's planned to be released very soon, but you can try it today by playing the free demo. It's really worth it. After months and months of speculations, rumors, and delays, we finally know when this game will come out, and it's very, very soon, or at least that's what we hope. The Day Before is an open-world multiplayer survival game set in a deadly post-pandemic America that has been overrun by undead humans. Just like every survival game, you must explore the world, scavenge for supplies, and find a way to survive in this new reality in one piece. You can explore a variety of environments, from abandoned cities to rural forests, and this allows you to search for important things like food, water, and different weapons. It is said that developers used Unreal Engine 5 to develop this game, but I honestly don't know if this is true or not, because every piece of footage seems to provide a different level of detail and the quality keeps declining. During the last 10 months, this game has become the center of discussion among all gaming YouTubers. They said that the game is a scam and that the developers are messing with us and using pre-rendered gameplay footage to gain attention. This is a reasonable claim, especially since the game's quality kept going down and down and down. Anyway, the game is scheduled to come out in a few days on December 7th, and I thought that you guys needed to know this in case you wanted to know what we would get and how this drama will end. Okay, guys, the main list for today is over, but I think there are some honorable mentions that deserve to be highlighted. One of these games is Paranormal Records, and it's a stunning game where you can see the environment from the view of a video camera. It takes place in an abandoned psychiatric hospital, and as usual, a guy went there to investigate and prove that he's a badass before things turned sideways. The full game is not ready yet, but there's a free demo that you probably want to check out. Another interesting game is Fatal Midnight. It's a new short game about a guy who woke up at night and went to check on his sister after hearing weird noises. However, he discovered that she had disappeared and he now needs to find her. But apparently, finding her is the last thing he should do because she seems like she went crazy, and he might be the one in danger and not her. The last game that I want to remind you of is Alan Wake 2. And even though it was mentioned multiple times on the channel, I feel that it didn't get the praise it deserved. It continues the creepy, weird journey of Alan from the original game, but it adds even more fascinating elements to it. The new characters were designed perfectly, and the visuals are top-notch. The sad news, however, is that the number of sales that the game has achieved so far appears to be very low compared to its quality. It didn't even hit 1 million copies after more than a month of release. And this is really concerning. If things don't improve in the future, then we might not get Alan Wake 3 ever. I believe one of the elements that contributed to this is the absence of the game on Steam. We all know that making a game exclusive to Epic Games doesn't usually help sales. Anyway, we will see how the fate of this title turns out to be, but for now, this is enough for today's video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day or night, depending on your location and time zone.